have it on good authority that my mark that I left in the ceiling in Scott Hall with my head is still there.
Dude, I forgot about that, bro.
I fucking launched off the stairs.
I remember that. I was there for that, bro.
I know.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Uh-oh, you froze on me.
I totally forgot that happened. Oh no, technical difficulties on the end here.
A little bit. I'm gonna try the other Wi-Fi, see if it works.
Having some technical difficulties. That's okay. That's gonna happen. Dude.
Were you there though, like for it when it happened?
I don't know if I was there for the original one, but I remember you did it again. So like you did it multiple times. I'm pretty sure. And
But
I was there for one of them.
I only left the mark.
I don't honestly. I can't remember if I was there for the mark. But so part of like for people that are listening or watching that don't know like how we know each other, like that was something I kind of wanted to like talk about was how we met. Obviously we met at college,
Makes sense.
and
yeah.
And I was trying to think of like what's the best story I can tell that would like just give an insight to like how we know each other and how we are. And I was thinking about the fucking noise that you were making with your. I don't know if you remember this. It's like one of the fondest memories I have. With your, I don't know how you did. It sounded like a giraffe dying or like a velociraptor dying. I don't know what. I don't remember how it even came to be. I'm pretty sure we were in the elevator and you were just like making noises and that came out of your mouth and I was like, what the fuck was that? And of course, at the time, I was dating a mutual friend of ours and our entire mission was to piss those people off, dude. Her and her friend, dude. It was like our whole goal was just to see how aggravated they could get with us, which was fun.
And we were good too.
We were too good at it. Like it was our job, dude. And you kept making that noise. I actually think I talked you into it a bunch of times. I was like, dude, the noise.
And that's not difficult.
Yeah, and you're like, bah! I can't even make it, like mimic it. And I remember we were going down the stairwell, and you did that noise in the stairwell, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like it was so loud. And the RA, I remember I was friends with them on Snapchat. So I posted on the story because it was a story-worthy thing. And the RA was like, you guys got to fucking stop. Like, you guys got to fucking stop. Like, what?
I remember the noise you're talking about. And my RA, Marissa, I went back and talked to her. And she was on the phone. And she got off the phone like as I walked into the room. And I was like, oh, sorry, am I interrupting? And she was like, no, I'm trying to talk with the head RA because I think there's a bird in the building. I was like, why do you think that? And she's like, well, there's all these noises coming from the stairwell. Dude, I was like, oh, man, I hope you guys find it.
Yeah, dude, I remember my RA was just like, you guys got to fucking stop. Like, you guys can't. You guys got to fucking stop. Like, you can't do that. But yeah, so for people that don't know us, like obviously, like as the screen says, I'm Jake, and he's the local hero, Seth Cook, and we met in college a couple years ago, and we've kept in touch for the most part. I mean, COVID made it a little tough, but
yeah, that made it tough on everybody for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, we obviously kept in touch here and there, and
yep.
And now you're out in fucking where you're at.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to you about that since then, so.
No, not intensely.
What are you doing out there, man? Just hanging out,
know.
Getting some experience. Is that what you're doing?
Pretty much. I more thought like I wanted to see a little bit of something else.
Yeah.
Big skier fan, so Colorado's got crazy skiing.
Fair enough.
All 4 major sports right in the city, mountains right there. So good balance of everything I like.
Yeah.
Red Rocks is out here for music. So
dude, that venue is beautiful.
You got to come see it.
I went to the Goo Goo Dolls concert here in New Hampshire back in August, and before I went, I wanted to kind of see like that's one of the things. So I've only ever been to 2 concerts. It was Fleetwood Mac and the Goo Goo Dolls, which is quite the variety of music, but
that's quite the pairing.
It's a good pairing, and I wanted to kind of see how they sound today because I'm listening to a lot of their recordings, the Goo Goo Dolls from like 1998. I'm like, oh man, they still sound good. And I saw a performance of Iris at the Red Rocks, and I was like, dude, to have been in that stadium, it would have been the most electric thing ever. It was just gorgeous. Even the video recording of it. But like to actually experience that. Have you been there?
I have been there during the day, just walking around.
Yeah.
And then I went to one concert that it was an EDM concert.
I was going to say, I could have sworn I remember you posted a video on your story
Yep.
about you were there. But I was like listening to what you were watching. I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is this concert?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
So how did you just show up? Where you're like, let's go to the Red Rocks?
I had a buddy that had tickets, and they were inexpensive, and I was like fucking $15 to see a show at Red Rocks. I might as well. And then we went, and I couldn't tell you who I saw. I couldn't tell you the name of a song, and not for like I was completely sober.
Right.
It was a weeknight. I just don't know. I don't know who I saw.
That had to have been an
but it was fun.
experience, though. Yeah.
The venue's crazy.
I'm guessing you're gonna hopefully try to go to a concert that you actually want to go see, right?
Yeah, I have tickets to 2 concerts next year already.
You do.
The problem with it is once those tickets hit resale, it's such a famous venue that the resale tickets are crazy.
Yeah.
Like last year, which there's a crazy video of it if you can find it, but there was Zach Bryan went there, and I was trying to get tickets to that concert, but dude, resale was like $400 or $500 a ticket for like general admission, way in the back.
That's like how tickets are. I mean, have you seen it? I'm sure you've seen some of the stuff that's like with Taylor Swift's tickets. Like how have you seen it? Oh my god, there was like this big thing. Her tickets were like disgustingly expensive, like thousands of dollars for nosebleed seats, because Ticketmaster like owns all these sub companies that just like scalp each other, and then they're all just like Ticketmaster owns these people, and they're like, let's just sell them for like $4,000. People will buy them, and like people were, but it was a huge thing. And like Blink-182 announced their reunion. And they had like their tickets were grossly expensive for a bunch of like 40-year-old men performing songs that they wrote when they were 18.
Yeah.
Still love the band though. I mean, one of my favorite bands of all time. But still, I mean, come on. Like, if I wanted to go see a bunch of middle-aged dads playing instruments, I'd head down to the Crouch and Stern Center on a Monday. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. No, it's wild.
So who do you have tickets to go see?
Jason Isbell. Do you know who that is?
I don't. I think I've heard the name, maybe, but
he's like a singer-songwriter, and he performs, and then he does Jason Isbell in the 400 Unit, which is his band.
Okay,
so that's what I'm going to see.
Nice.
Probably my favorite songwriter of all time. Like,
really,
his fucking lyrics are crazy.
That is a bold claim.
It is, but
I respect it. That's a bold claim. I respect it.
There's a tweet from John Mayer that said like, Jason Isbell, in songwriting terms, lives in a place that most people can only visit.
That's a beautiful quote, dude.
Yeah, which is high praise also from
high praise from John Mayer. Absolutely.
Superstar. So, yeah, he's a crazy songwriter. So I have tickets to see him, and then I have tickets to Brit Floyd, which is like probably the world's best Pink Floyd cover band.
I was going to say that was what my next question was.
Yeah, and they do like they're very true to the songs, and then they do all the like the light shows and all the crazy stuff, which at Red Rocks is going to be insane.
Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
it's funny. You mentioned the 4 sports, so I saw you were at a Broncos game a couple weeks back. So
that's probably the loudest one there,
dude. My buddy Kyle. If Kyle, I probably will be listening. Shout out my friend Kyle. He's living like right down the road from you. It's crazy.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to send you a screenshot of the snap maps, because like you both posted that you were at the Broncos game, and you were like not next to each other, but like I saw Kyle's picture from his seats, and then it was like yours, and I was like, are they fucking together? I was like, so I went back and looked, and I was like, it was just funny. And then I looked later. I don't remember why. I think I was honestly just like, I don't Snapchat map stalk you, I promise, but I was just like, that's looking to see. I actually have people all over the United States, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And I was like, it showed you and my friend Kyle were like together, and I was like, what the fuck? And I went, and you guys are like literally like 4 streets over from each other.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, what are the chances of that, bro? I know 2 people that I met like from different parts of Maine that are now in like the same district in Denver or wherever you are. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude, the Broncos game was fun.
Yeah.
It was great for me because it was Broncos-Colts on Thursday night, which was a field goal fest that went into overtime and the Broncos lost.
Yeah, I remember seeing the backlash to that game and the lackluster offense.
Yeah, no. So I was like cheering really loud, but for both teams for everything that happened.
I mean, you don't care. Not your
No, not at all. No, I'm
You
just
don't
going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were lots of very upset Broncos fans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I understand.
They're
Because
having a rough season, dude. Those fans are they are neck deep in ice cream every night. Every Sunday night, they're like, another one.
yeah, it's bad. And I have a lot of them that every time I tell someone I'm a Pats fan out here, they all are super upset. And early on when I got out here, everyone was very willing to just shit on the Pats. And then as the season's gone on, like, they really have nothing to say.
Right.
They're just upset all the time.
I mean, they're kind of the laughingstock right now, I feel like, of not even just the NFL, but, like, major sports. It's like them and the Lakers. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna ever shit on any team, I'm like, it's an easy joke to be like, oh, the Lakers are fucking so good. Or it's like, the Broncos traded all their future away for this bum. You know, it's like...
And the key is there are worse teams, for sure.
Yeah.
Than the Lakers and the Broncos.
Right.
The problem is they were supposed to be like they could win it all this year.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And then they're fucking just shit.
I mean, even in the same division, like the Vegas Raiders have been awful too, and they're supposed to be. This division was supposed to be like a bloodfest,
Powerhouse.
and it's been nothing like it's supposed to be. I mean, Kansas City has had their necks on, or their metaphorical knees on the necks the entire season. Like, they haven't really
100%.
faltered at all.
And the Chargers have been pretty good for the injuries they've been dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
J.C. Jackson was a big ad, and he's been out a lot. And
Right.
then just the rest of their team between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and everybody. Like, everybody's just banged up on that team, and they're still hanging on.
It's a bad
like,
luck.
Yeah, the Raiders are horrible. And they still beat the fucking Broncos.
They did. That's right. I'm not really big into football, but like I follow it enough because I watch like highlights, you know, and stuff like that. But I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't. But I've had.
That was one that I went in the next day and tried to talk to some of the Broncos fans I know, and they were like, "I don't want to talk about it."
I don't even want to talk about it.
No.
So I figured one thing that we would do to kind of start off the podcast when we record these is kind of just like, because obviously the name of our podcast is Fun Farm. So I was kind of just thinking about like something called Around the Farm, where we just kind of talk about like our weeks or whatever, just kind of like what's going on with us and like how we've been. And
Love it.
so I'll let you. What's been going around the farm for you, man? How's this last week looked? I know we haven't. This is our first podcast we've recorded, but again, in the spirit of things, just like.
Yeah. So backstory, I'm in construction.
Yep.
So I work for just a general contractor that works in an active hospital, which is
in an active hospital.
Yes. It's
so
intense.
are you guys just building on like an addition, or are you repairing something? Like.
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. Like right now we're about to start redoing all 6 of their operating rooms, which is nuts because like we might have to work nights and weekends because believe it or not, and I don't really understand this personally, surgeons don't want a jackhammer running a room over when they're digging into people.
I don't understand why.
They're so needy, dude.
I mean, come on. Get over it.
Yeah. So, for that reason, we might have to work nights and weekends, and we're redoing like flooring, paint. We're putting in new like operating room equipment and lights and shit, and all kinds of stuff. But then we're also like revamping their kitchen, so like all kinds of different stuff all over the hospital. We're making a temporary living space for their air life team, so when they bring somebody in.
Okay.
They can like base out of here and stay here, and then go get somebody else if they need to. And
why don't you just stay there? You could just hang out there, right? You'd be a squatter in this hospital.
Yeah, no. When we're doing the operating rooms, I think that'll be done. So I'll probably just like go check in on everybody, and then just go sleep in the
right. Yeah. Just that can be your house for the couple of months you're doing that. Just like a squatter.
Exactly.
They're
yeah.
like,
no,
dude, you
the
live
air life
here?
team. the Air Life team comes in after narrowly saving someone's life, and I'm just passed out on the couch with a bag of chips watching fucking Seinfeld, dude.
Take a picture; it'll fucking last longer.
Exactly. The fuck you guys doing? This is my room.
Who the fuck is this guy? Like, this is my fucking room. You gotta write up a lease for it and everything. Be like, look, I'm paying them.
Yeah, just print out Seth's room and put it on the door.
Yeah, and be like, oh, my company said part of the contract was that I could use this room.
Yeah, no.
Your boss is like, dude, this guy's gonna fucking go. This guy's gonna go.
I think they'd love it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
I agree. No, but it's crazy, and there's a lot of like every project, you really have to like normally in construction, your first thought is how do we do this as quickly as possible and as well as possible.
Yep.
In the hospital, the first thought is, all right, how do we do this so we don't kill somebody? And then how do we do it well and do it fast? Yeah. So like you have to set up temporary walls around wherever you're working, and you have to keep the space air negative so that when you open the doors to the space, air rushes in rather than bringing dust out. Like, it's a whole thing before you even start doing any construction.
I mean, if you were to kill somebody, you're in the best place for it, though.
That's true. Yeah, I've also said that about like as far as safety goes. Like if I fall off and smoke my dome off a fucking sink, like I'll just like, hey.
You just waltz your way down to the ER and be like, okay, I thought this not feeling right.
Yeah, something's wrong. You know?
Something's really wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong. They're like, oh, you're fine. They'll just give you ibuprofen and send you on your way.
Yeah. Is the kitchen done yet? Yeah.
Are you guys close to being done? Because we really need that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll get right back out there.
Oh shit.
That's pretty cool though. I mean, that's gonna be kind of. Is it weird for you? Because I work in a hospital, so like I don't. It's weird because like you don't work in a hospital, so it's probably not the same thing. But like people are weird. Like, were you ever weirded out by going into hospitals? Like, was that ever a thing for you?
Not really weirded out. I guess I would say that I have historically not liked being in them because I've never been in them for a good reason.
Right. But like I've met people that are like terrified to go to hospitals. Like if they're like having a medical emergency, they're like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, bro, you're gonna die. Like you gotta go. And they're like, I'll take my chances. I'm like, okay.
No, I'm definitely the person that will not go to the hospital, but not because I'm terrified, more because I have a weird delusion of it's fine.
Dude, me too. My mom is so mad at me.
So I do volleyball Wednesday nights, and me and a buddy just go out and play volleyball. I don't know if you know, like a year ago, in August, I dislocated my shoulder.
I didn't know that. That sounds like you though.
Yeah, playing softball, I dove for a ball and landed, and it popped out forward. So when I did it that time, first time I'd ever dislocated my shoulder, and it popped out, went to the quick care. And they were like, we need to do an x-ray. And I was like, for what? And they were like, oh, well, we just need to check. And I'm like, can you just put it back in? And they're like, no, well, we got to do an x-ray before we put it back in. And I was like, no, I'm leaving. So I left there, then went to the ER. And the second I got in the ER, they're like, oh, we got to put this back in. I was like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
So they took me into the back room and then threw it back in. And left there, recovered like most of the way, like I could throw a ball again, whatever. And then I was out with some friends in Portland, and someone was picking us up, and I went to close their trunk and just pulled down, and it popped right back out. But that time, I put my hand between my legs and just pulled down, and it went right back in on its own.
Isn't that incredibly painful?
The first one was.
Yeah.
And the entire time it was out, it was really painful. Once it went back in, it was a big relief, but it still hurt. Yeah. But the problem with it is it was out so long that all the muscles had time to contract around the bone being out of your socket, that when it goes back in, all the muscles are fucked up.
Yeah.
So that second time I did it, I got it back in so fast that nothing really happened. Yeah. So I was sore for a couple days, and then I was fine. So the third time I did it, I was playing volleyball, and I went up to spike, and I threw my arm back to spike like I can actually still do that, and it fucking popped right out, and I just went dunk, and like barely touched the ball, and it fell down right in front of me. And the second I landed, I was like, "Fuck, my shoulder's out," and everybody's like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah, my shoulder's like out right now." So I looked around the group, and I was like, "Does anyone know how to put a shoulder back in?" And everyone unanimously said
They're
no.
like, "Fuck off, dude. We're trying to play volleyball. This guy's gonna spike it into your head."
Exactly. So they were like, "Should we call an ambulance?" And I was like, No. Andrew. And I got my buddy Andrew, and I'm like, "You just pull on my arm." So he pulled on it, and I kind of reworked it, and then put it back in. And then in 10 minutes, I jumped back in and kept playing volleyball.
Did you win?
We did not win. We still have not won.
We did not win.
But, yeah.
So you're telling me that you, like, Kurt Schillinged it. You bloody socked that motherfucker.
Yes.
And you still lost?
100%. Yeah.
Bullshit. That team did not rally around you, man. That's bullshit.
They didn't. And the other, I think it's because everyone did not like that I did that. Like, there was, like, even, like, that was week 1. So that's when
that was the first week?
Yeah, that's when everybody's meeting each other.
And you're just like, guys, threw my shoulder out again. They're like, this guy.
Yeah. So then last week I went again, and we played the team that we played week 1 again, and we had to have a sub from the other team come play, and she, the entire game, every time I went to hit, would be like, "Careful your shoulder." Like, every time I hit it, she'd like come over, like put her hand on my shoulder and be like, "Are you all right? You feeling good?"
You had a fucking babysitter.
Dude, I did. I'd fucking dive, and she'd be like, "I don't like when you dive." I'm like, "And?"
You don't even know this girl's first name, and she's like, "No, I don't like it when you do that."
Yeah. No,
I mean, you kind of need that, though, to be fair. Come on. I mean, you kind of need that.
Probably.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not probably.
No, my mom will be happy to hear that she's there taking care of me.
Yeah, that you're getting mommed by this random... How old was this woman? Was she like your age? She older?
No, she's a little older.
All right, so she's like a mid-30-year-old woman. I mean, maybe not a mom. Maybe she'll be like a partner for you, maybe. Maybe this will blossom into a relationship. You never know.
She's done a good job of caring for my shoulder, that's for sure.
Dude, I don't know. The visual of you going up for a spike, like, so aggressive, like, and she's just like, "Careful your shoulder."
100%.
Like, in the background, like, "Careful."
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's probably for the best that she was there doing that, but...
You're getting scolded by some random woman that you just... So she was not even from your team.
No, she was a sub from the other team.
So is this like volleyball when we played it in college, where it's like a bunch of like friends of people that you don't really know?
Yes.
Like, do you know all these people you're playing with, or you don't?
No, I know one person I'm playing with, and we're on the same team. And then the rest of the people we just kind of met. And the bad part about it is it's late, and people have been inconsistent so far. Mm-hmm. So, like, we haven't had the same team a single week. So there's been, like, I don't know if
it was, though. When we were in college, that was the same thing.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know if you remember, like, when you play with people, you kind of get the feel for, like, what everyone does well, what everyone doesn't do well.
Right.
Like, when to hit it to people, where to hit it to people.
Right.
Like, we have not been able to do that. Really, the crazy part is our best game was, for a little while, we had 3 of us. And we were 3v6. And we were, like, winning for a decent part of the game. Just because when there were only 3 of us, like...
Right. I mean, it's easy,
haul ass and just hit everything. But, yeah, no, it's tough trying to balance getting everybody, like, involved and figuring out how to use people when everyone's new every week.
Dude, our intramural sports in college, we fucking sucked. I don't think we ever won a game.
I think we sucked, but we probably had the most fun of any team.
And we'd piss people off by just having fun.
Yeah, no, we'd be doing terrible and then all, like, fall on the ground laughing when something happened.
Yeah, we'd be, like, we'd just be cheering for, like, this, like, one player on our team. Like, just, like, as obnoxiously clapping. And the other team was like, you're just getting angry that we weren't competitive. I'm like, bro, this is intramural at, like, 9:40 at night on a school night in college. I am not... This is not Game 7 of the World Series, pal. I'm good.
Nope. I did like to try to treat it like that a little bit, though. Like when I
Every once in a while, you have
a
to.
miracle speech
Right.
before every game to get everybody amped up.
I mean, every once in a while you have to, because you can't just lose every game. Like, you have to put a valiant effort out.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And then lose.
we had some serious L's, man. I mean, it wasn't like we were competitive and then we lost. It was like from the first hit of the game, we were like, we've written ourselves off. We've lost.
Oh yeah, we'd be playing volleyball and someone would smoke it off the fucking each of our team members' faces. And
Were
we'd be
you
like,
there? I don't know if you were on the team when we were playing with Kyle. Were you there for the game when he went to go?
Yes, I already know exactly what you're gonna say.
Dude, that is one of my favorite memories of like some random experience. Was so to set the scene, we were playing volleyball. Seth and I were on the same team, and this was one of the games that we were actually somewhat doing well in. Like we were close to winning this game. And we had a couple players that were just not good. So we're like, we pretty much told them without saying, we're like, just don't touch the ball. Just stay where you are and we'll come get it. And it was like, I don't know, I don't remember the score, but say if it was first to 20, it was like 19-18. And the ball was in the air. And this guy, Kyle, this lanky dude, we've got to love him, was like, I got it. And I was like, Kyle, no.
he was like valiantly calling for it too.
I mean,
like,
and he was
confident.
But the worst part about this was the ball was 4 yards out of bounds. Like, he ran out of bounds to hit it, and when he hit it, the ball went so far that the gym was divided in, like, netting. It went over both pairs of nets. Not just one, but both of them. Like, he hit that ball 30 fucking feet down the court. And
really
we lost. And we lost.
Yeah. No,
but at that point, we didn't care.
That how we lost?
Yeah, that was how we lost.
Yeah.
100%. I remember because we just fell on the ground laughing. It wasn't even like we didn't care. I mean, it was the funniest thing. Like,
it was worth it, for sure.
It was just like it was one of those moments I wish I had like a camera in my eyeballs so I could just like replay that of him go like lankily running like I got it. I'm like, Kyle, no, and he smacks it. I mean, he hit. And the thing was, he had to hit it forward, not behind him. I don't know how the hell he hit it behind him. That didn't make any sense in the terms of what he was trying to do.
No.
Oh my
it's
God.
really an incredible feat. It's probably, even though we lost, the most impressive thing that happened during the game.
I remember like the other team, everybody involved in that game, like just started dying laughing because it was like it was so ridiculous. Like it was almost made up because you would have thought he did it on purpose, and like he didn't. He was just genuinely trying to help.
No, and if you like know him and you knew the situation,
right.
That was very clear. It was very clear that was not.
No, it was not like to screw us over. It wasn't to make people laugh.
No.
It was a genuine effort to win this game. Like he went out above and beyond and just ended up making it one of the funniest things that ever happened.
Yep. Yeah,
that really sums up the history of our intramural sports at UMF. If you really think about it, it's coming so close to winning and then having somebody punt a ball 45 yards down the field.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's a great way to put it.
We played kickball and we sucked at kickball.
No, but kickball was fun.
Kickball was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun playing kickball.
We just had a lot of people that didn't. I think our problem is not problem, but like our issue with winning was we would take sports, have like 3 or 4 of us that really wanted to play.
Yeah.
And rather than find other people that wanted to play, we would just peer pressure our friends that had no interest in playing and just make them join our team. So we had a few core people that were good, and then the rest of them didn't want to be there. And then
out of a team of 12, we had 4 or 5 people that were like, I like looking forward to it, and then there was like 6 of them that were like, oh. And then there was like 2 that were just like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be here anymore, man.
Yeah.
That was the fun though. Is like, you know.
Oh, I think it was great.
We didn't pick people strategically on like athletes. Like we could have easily been like, let's go make friends with all these athletes and have them on our team. Like we just did it to really bond with our friends. That was kind of like, and I think honestly, like intramural sports, for me at least, was a big factor in like bonding. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's genuinely how I met you. Was I? It's funny to think about it because I remember me and Derek were hanging out with. I don't remember, it was some group of people that we had just met, and one of the girls was on your team. That I don't remember someone recruited her, and she's like, "Hey, we need 2 people to play volleyball with us. Do you guys?" And me and Derek were at the FRC, and she was like, "Hey, do you guys want to come play on our team?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, we're just playing basketball. Like, that sounds like fun. And then that's how we met. And
Yep.
I mean, I know that's cliche, but the rest is history. But that was like how it was because of Intramural Sports. So I mean, we had a lot of fun, and I don't regret anything about not.
Oh
winning.
no way! That was the way to do it for sure. It's just also why we never won anything.
So this was after you left, but I became the captain of the intramural teams for like our friend group, and I remember I would make it a mission to make our name as ridiculous as possible, right? Because I was the one submitting the team.
Yeah.
So I think it was like right before COVID. It was I don't know if it was I think it was volleyball. I named the team George Lopez and Sharkboy and Lava Girl. That was the name of the team. And I got an email from the FRC director, and she was like, "Dude, why? like, why?" And I was like, and she's like, "Is this really your team name?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So remember that they printed the schedules out in Excel. She had to make a different Excel sheet that would fit our name in it because our name was so big it was fucking the schedule up.
That's awesome.
So we went to the captain's meeting for to give our money and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "The schedules look different because one of the team names was so long that we had to like alter it." And I was like, "Who the fuck is the idiot that named their team that long thing?" Like, it was me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great name though.
And dude, yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was like the most random thing I could think of. I just remember like getting it was literally email. She was like, "Why?" Like,
did you use it like during the game? Did you cheer like,
Yeah,
"Hey, let's go, George Lopez and Sharkboy and Lava Girl"?
Well, the best part was the referees had to announce like who was playing. So every single game we'd be just in a corner. I'm like, they're gonna have to say it, and they'd look at the clipboard and like double take and be like, like Team George Lopez and Sharkboy and Lava Girl. And I'm like, that's us! Like,
that's awesome.
Oh, dude, everybody on my team was pissed. They were not happy. Like, not
really?
like mad, but they were like, really, dude? Like, you couldn't have just picked like a standard name. And I was like, and I said standard name. I was like, do you fucking know me, dude? You'd expect you put me in charge of naming our fucking team.
Yeah.
Like, I asked everybody else if they wanted to do this. They're like, no, you're the best suit for it. So I named the team.
Apparently not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone's fucking pissed off at me. Yeah, no, that's awful. Why would you want a standard name?
That's like, we could have been like, I don't know, Team Dumbasses. I don't know. I can't even think of a name that would be like normal. Like every name I think of goes to something outrageous.
The Spikers.
Oh yeah, the Setters. Team Setters. Like that was actually a team name. I'm almost confident that was a team name that we played against.
And that's awful.
Like how
who
come
wants
on,
to be there?
Have some creativity. If there was ever anybody, if anybody ever says they named a team exactly what I just said, I'm gonna swing on myself because there's no way anybody else has ever thought of that in their life.
No, 100%.
I honestly, I'm pretty sure I sat there I think I remember this. I sat there at the thing because you had to submit your team name over the email. Yeah. And I was like, I had no idea I was going to name it. Like, I had no clue. There was nothing going through my brain. It was just like static. And I started typing, and that's what came out. Like, I don't even think I like Sharkboy and Lava Girl, to be fair. Like, it's not a movie I think of like, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't watched it. I don't know how that just shows you how my brain works. It was just like, that's the name of this team.
That's awesome. That's beautiful, really.
It was something, but I did not win over some of the teammates because every single game they'd have to do roll call and they'd have to yell our team name out. They're like, I am a part of this team. Unfortunately, I am a part of this team. I was like, you're damn right you're part of this team.
And if you don't like it, fuck off, dude.
Like, for real, man. I don't know. People are crazy, but...
Yeah, people are crazy. Not us.
Not me. No, not
We're
me.
sane, dude.
People like team setters, that's crazy, dude. Like, that's I don't know.
What's going on through their head, man? I don't get it.
George Lopez is Sharkboy and Lava Girl. I mean,
It just makes sense.
it makes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You just hear it and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you just hear it and you're like, that's a volleyball team.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a volleyball team. 100%.
Yep.
I mean, what other name? Like, there just isn't one, but I guess back to how your week's been. I don't know how we got there, but
Dude, everything generally leads down a path that goes to Sharkboy and Lava Girl and George Lopez.
it's how it has to be.
That's where everything leads in life.
It's like the Thanos quote. I don't know if you're a Marvel movie guy. I'm not, but
I've seen them all.
Have you seen them all?
I think so.
Like all of them. There's like 30 of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that.
This reminds me of another story of. Do you remember when Aurora made Paige cry?
I don't. Dude,
with the Marvel thing? You don't remember that?
my memory is so bad. It's actually kind of sad, bro. Like
I think it's been long enough that spoilers are out of the question for those movies.
you better
right?
watch your tongue. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So, Paige was a super
Oh
Marvel
yeah,
fan.
dude. She had like the pillowcase and everything. I remember that.
And she had like cups with bottle toppers on them.
Right.
And so she had just gotten back from watching Infinity War, which is when fucking half the people disappear.
Dude, everyone just dies. Did we go to
Yeah.
see that with her? I think I went to see that with her, and I regretted it instantly because I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here? This is like everyone's crying, and I'm like, they're all dying."
But she got back from that, and we were all just sitting in the common area, and she was like upset. But then we ended up talking about Marvel, and someone was like, "Oh, don't you have like those like toppers on your cups, whatever?" And they were like, "Who do you have?" And she was like rattling off everybody and whatever, and she's like, "Oh yeah, and I have Spider-Man, like he's my favorite." And Aurora was like, "Are you sure that one's still there?" And she just fucking took off. It was like, tonight's been too much. I can't do this,
Dude, I don't think I was there for that.
Part of me felt bad. Part of me was like, "That's the greatest thing I've ever fucking heard."
Dude, shout out Aurora.
Dude,
I love
that's
that
the
woman.
greatest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, dude, whenever I think of Marvel, I think of that moment.
Dude,
Like the second you talked about the Marvel movies, that popped right into my head.
There's a solid chance Aurora's listening, and if she is, dude, I love you. I love you so much.
Oh yeah, huge shout out, dude.
Huge shout out, dude.
Oh my god.
I actually recently we've been talking on Snapchat, and she is living her best life, man. Good for her.
Hey, down
Good for her.
in Virginia, living it up, dude.
I'm so happy for her. I remember I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was like, I'm so happy for that woman. Like, I don't know. That's just one of those people you meet her, and you're like, you just want the best for that person. Like, you really just want them to always have the best life. And I feel like she's getting there, and it's just it just warms my heart.
100%.
But dude, I don't think I was there for that. I feel like now that you talk about it, I remember hearing about it, but like I don't think I was there for that.
Maybe not. It wasn't like this big moment is a thing. Like it's not
was
like
for you because you remember it off the rip that quickly.
100%. Yeah, no, I think about it often. Yeah, but like it was like it's not. There was just a small group. We were just sitting. Yeah, and then
one thing my mom still talks about. She asks about you like all the time, still, right? Every single time she asks about you, she brings up the time that you came to my house for my birthday, and it was so hot that you slept outside on the rocks. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Yes. Every single time. She brings you up or I mention you, she's like, "Ha! Remember that time?" And I was like, "Fucking A, Mom. I know what you're gonna say." She's like, "He was so dude. That night was so fun and so miserable in one fucked up ball."
Oh yeah.
Like I have a video on my phone of you with M&Ms bouncing them off of my kitchen like chandelier light and just clanking them, trying to get them in your mouth. And my sister's in the background. She's like, "Oh my god, Seth, that's so gross." And you're just like, "I know," and you're fucking slamming M&Ms into the light.
Dude, the fucking chandelier's probably the cleanest thing in the kitchen.
I mean, you know what?
It's just up there not touching anything.
Exactly. You really just made a good point. Like, you really just made a good point.
It's fine.
There was one. I think one of the videos I have is you threw the M&M backwards off the wall and it got stuck in the light. And my mom was like, "You're gonna burn the house down!" Like,
No,
like
it's
Mom,
fine. It's got a candy shell.
dude, Ma, we're just heating it up. Like, you ever had hot M&Ms, Mom? Like, come on.
They're great. That reminds me. Have you seen Tommy Boy?
It's been so long since I've seen that movie, but I have seen it.
It reminds me of the scene where he sets the M&Ms on the dashboard and they all fall down into the radiator.
Yeah. Now that you said it, I don't know if it's Tommy Boy's the one with what's his name?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, yeah. Is
Yeah,
that the
great.
fat guy in a little coat movie?
Yes.
I have seen that movie then. Honestly, I probably haven't seen it since I was a kid. Now that I think about it, because
Worth watching.
I have to rewatch that movie now that you think.
They're great
You
movie.
mention it. But yeah,
No,
I mean, just to give a little insight to people that might not know Seth too well, was my apartment was so hot. It was it's October. It was my birthday's in October, and it must have been 85 degrees down in my room. It was awful, and it was just disgusting. Like it was one of those years we had like a hot streak in October, and that day specifically was like 70 degrees, and it did not cool off at night. Nope. And I went to the bathroom, and it was Seth, me, and my ex-girlfriend, and I came out of the bathroom, and she was on the floor in the hallway. And I was like, where the fuck is Seth? Because I couldn't see him. I'm like, where did this guy go? And he was laying face down on rocks with a pillow. And I literally, in the video on my phone, I panned to you, and I'm like, yep. Like, I didn't even, it's like, yep. Like, that's about where we are. Like, it wasn't even a shock to me. But, I mean, that's the kind of character that we're talking about here.
And, dude, in the heat, the rocks were nice.
I bet they were. I bet they were.
Little pressure point massage going on. Like, yeah, it was nice.
Oh, dude, I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the kind of
the bugs didn't get me, but.
Oh, dude, you were eaten head to toe by mosquitoes.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember you were. That's why you came back inside. You were swatting away because the screen door was closed. You're like, ow! You're just swatting away mosquitoes.
You're just trying to sleep.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing out there, man?
Gotta do what you gotta do, dude.
Absolutely, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I had a pillow. What do you want?
You did. You didn't have a blanket, but you had a pillow, and I'm pretty sure you were shirtless, which I mean makes the most sense.
Yeah, no, that also. I mean, if I'm hot.
Yeah, if you're hot, what's the best thing to do? Take off your shirt, right?
Exactly. That's all you can do.
Oh man, we had some good times though. Like, there's just a lot of them that the more we talk, the more like my memory gets flooded with like things that I thought I forgot about.
Oh yeah.
And we just had a lot of good times, man, and
yeah.
We've always just made the most fun of the situations. I mean, I think that. Oh, dude, memory just came flooding back. The haunted house. Do you remember the haunted house, dude?
Yes.
Dude,
oh my God,
that was
dude.
one of the most fun nights I think I've ever had in my life. Like,
dude, I don't do jump scares well, so that is not my element.
So to set a scene here, we Seth and I went with my ex-girlfriend and a couple of our friends, and they were like, "Hey, they're doing this haunted house. Like, you guys should come with us." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I'm not a big fan of jump scares either, and I had never been to one. I'm the kind of person that I'm scared. I'm just gonna start talking to myself. So I'm like, oh, this will be fun. But I'm like, I was with my ex-girlfriend. I was like, this should be fun. Like, it would have a good bonding experience for all of us. So,
exactly.
We ended up going to this. It was in this high school, right? It was in a high school. It wasn't. It wasn't even in like a building. It was in like because we had to wait to get our turns because we all had tickets.
Yeah, we were in the gym.
We were in the fucking gym, and this kid was playing basketball with a shoe.
Yep.
And so Seth and I were like, dude, pass the rock.
Naturally. They
ended up calling, we're like, all right, it's time for Group C to go through it. So we're like, all right. So it's not that scary to start off. It's just, it's pretty timid. And then like we start to get into it, and I'm like, fuck, dude, this sucks. Like, this is awful.
Yeah.
And I remember a specific time it was like this pitch black room. And everybody was behind me because you guys fucking shoved me to go first. You're like, somebody's got to go first. And I was just the one that had to go.
Yeah,
So
I'm not doing it.
everybody's behind me, and the jump scare came from behind me. So so you get scared. You fucking grabbed me. I get scared because I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Everybody else, it was like Kara and Lindsay and Juliet are just freaking out. And I'm just like, I just took off. Dude, you and I fucking took off running.
Yeah.
We left those fucking women in the dust. And I remember they caught up to us. They caught up to us. They're like, thanks for saving us. And we're like, you guys made it, didn't you?
That's equality right there, brother.
You guys made it, right?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, literally. And they did a good job. Like, those decorations
I don't
were
remember
good.
where that was. I don't remember. I cannot remember where that was, but it
was just a school in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like everything in Maine is.
Oh, true. But that was frightening. Frightening.
Yeah. No, it was good.
Yeah, we left them in the dust.
100%. I mean,
yeah,
what am I gonna do?
I'm pretty sure like halfway through it, you and I were kind of like, let's take off, dude. Like, really, like, if we have to ditch these women, like, we're good. Like, we'll do it.
Yeah. We'll be faster on our own.
And then, oh my god, they were dude, I thought you were gonna get fucking exiled from the car because you had aux cord on the trip back.
Oh, always a good idea to give me.
And you were fucking replaying the "What's New, Pussycat" for like 45 minutes.
Dude, every year throughout the year, I get Snapchat memories from people from different points of the year in different people's cars, and it's always that song, and I'm always screaming it. Dude, throughout the year, like 8-10 times.
That haunted house gave me a massive headache. I had a headache. Julianne was driving, and I thought she was gonna fucking kill you. And Kara was pissed, and Lindsay was pissed. Everybody in the car was miserable, and then you're just like, "What's new, Pussycat? Whoa!" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking knock this guy out, bro." And it wasn't like I wouldn't have cared. I had a fucking killer headache. I remember being miserable, and I was just in the front seat because I'm being so tall. Everyone's just like, "Hey, get the front seat." I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, you're like, "Can I play some music?" And they're like, "Don't you fucking play anything weird." You're like, "I won't." You're like, "I won't." And the first song you played was normal. And then it was like, you literally I remember you had queued it in your Spotify. And it was just like, "What's New, Pussycat" like 45 times, which is cute.
Yeah.
Because they took your phone. And they're like, "You're not playing any music." And it just kept playing. It just kept playing.
Yeah. No, it's all about strategy, dude.
To be fair, I've kind of inherited that from you. Every once in a while, I'll get the aux in somebody's car, and I'm just like, "What's the weirdest song I can play right now?" And I always think of you. I'm like, "What's new, Pussycat?"
Yep.
Every time.
No, I have a few go-to songs that are good ones.
What's your other go-to ones?
There's a good one called "The Chicken Yodel" by Carrie Christensen.
Okay.
Great little tune.
See, I always go to. There's this guy on Spotify that makes straight up. I can't really explain this without just saying what it is. It's just like gay sex sounds, but he's also a singer, and is just talking about various sex acts he's going to perform on celebrities and unnamed people alike. And he has a Spotify collection of like 1,000 songs, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it's like 1,000 songs, if not more. So I'll go on his Spotify page and I'll just scroll down and pick a song and just start playing it. Like, my roommate, I swear to God, one of these days he's gonna fucking club me to death because of how many times he comes home and I'm just blaring like Grant McDonald songs. It's awful.
Is that the name of the guy?
Yeah, Grant McDonald.
I gotta look it up.
His go-to is Ram Ranch. I'm sure you maybe have heard it because it's pretty familiar. But he has a lot of other ones that are just heinous. I mean, they are borderline criminal.
That's awesome.
But he's quite the cat.
I'll have to...
And you don't, like, this is the thing, like, I don't know if this guy is, like, actually just gay, or if he's just, at this point, he's just created a character and he's so stuck in it that he can't stop.
Huh.
Like, if he's not, like, a legitimate gay man, then I have a lot of concern for this guy and his mental health. Because, like, it's only so far you can go. And he's gone. Yeah. He's gone pretty damn far, man.
If that's not him, he's lost sight of himself for sure.
Oh, dude, he is fighting demons within himself at this point.
Oh, yeah. It looks like we got 10 minutes left. We got to do the other segments.
Oh, jeez, yeah, you got a point.
You gotta run through your quick little week summary, and then because I touched on mine.
It doesn't have to be. I think we only have 2 hours of recording, but we can go over. We don't have to just do exactly an hour. But that was just kind of a rough estimate. But
I like it. I'm sure we'll find it too as we go. We'll figure out.
Yeah.
All right, we're roughly at this point.
I didn't even realize we've been talking for this long. That's crazy.
Doesn't feel like it.
It really doesn't. That's kind of a good sign. I feel like though.
I agree. Until we get done and we're like, that was awesome, and then the first person listens and they're like, yeah.
These guys are fucking insane. My week, though, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, really, I haven't had much of a highlight. So, my job, I work security at a hospital, right? So, I mean, I haven't had much this week that's been fun. But, like, throughout, if I can start to remember stories, like, I've got a lot of stories that are just entertaining to listen to. Like, I've had a lot of people call me a lot of names. And I've heard a lot of things that I'm just like, all right, man, this is where I'm at. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and it's been fun. But, yeah, there's a lot of – it's entertaining. It's a weird thing because, like, you don't think, like, wow, you're working security. It must suck. It's like, dude, no, it's actually pretty entertaining. Like,
so
a lot of –
huh? What are your hours?
I work overnights. So I go in at work at 12 a.m., and I get out at 8 in the morning. Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, I thought I was going to hate it when I first did it. But, I mean, once you get adjusted to the schedule, like, it's pretty easy, I think. And it makes it, like, I enjoy it. And there's benefits in terms, like, there's financial benefits, too, of working overnights because you get a differential in pay because it's a harder shift to fill because people don't want to work overnight. I get it. But I don't mind. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I see and do. I mean, and it's not always a fun job. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've seen over the years and that it's just not been good, you know. But that's with any job.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's any job. I mean, but for most of the part, I mean, it's fun. You know, my coworkers are great. Like I love the people I work with, and
that's really the key.
Yeah, and we have a great team, and my boss is great. You know, and the people I work with, I trust, and they're fun, and we get along. But we also can, you know, when person comes to shove and we have to do work, we can do work, and it's just a good balance. So
yeah,
I've come to just enjoy the place, and as much as it might suck some days, like for the most part, the good outweighs the bad. So I can't complain much about the job. But
that's awesome. I feel like really, if your coworkers are good, you can manage having a tough job.
Absolutely.
But if your coworkers are bad, your job could be good, but you're not going to like it.
Absolutely, no, 100%. I mean, if my coworkers stuck at this job, I would have left 10 years ago, and I haven't even been working there for 10 years. But it's like,
that's how bad it would be.
Like, I mean, like this is it would be such a mundane job and such a bad place to hate people that you work with.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any coworkers that I even hate working with. I mean, obviously I have my preferences and people I'd rather work with, but
yeah,
I don't go into work like, oh, I'm working with this bum today. Like,
yeah,
for the most part, like, I really just go into it like, oh, like I get to work with this person, and it's either like, yay, or it's like, all right, like whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot of reason that I picked the company I'm working for out here.
Yep.
I had a few offers, but this company was very employee centric and very focused on culture. So then since I've started working here, I've met a bunch of people, and I haven't met a single person at the company that I don't like.
That's awesome. That's what you really want.
Yeah.
You get offers from companies like you're a fucking D1 athlete. To get an offer from Alabama.
Exactly. Yeah, dude.
Hi,
it was
Seth,
just...
it's Nick Saban. I don't know what he sounds like. Is that what he sounds like? I don't even know.
That was a great impression. I thought it was. I got Nick excited Saban. For a second. I thought I was getting recruited.
We want you to come to Alabama.
I think that actually might have been close.
I don't even know what he sounds like. I don't think I've ever heard that guy talk in my life. I know his name, I know what he looks like, but I don't think I've ever heard him talk in my life.
I think he nailed it.
I hope so. Hopefully he's watching. Do you think Nick Saban would be watching this?
Shout out Nick.
I'll tag him.
My guy Nick.
I'm just gonna go on Twitter and just harass him for 6 weeks and be like, dude, I mentioned you in my podcast. You gotta listen.
You gotta listen.
You gotta listen, man.
I'm sure there's a ton of sports podcasts that talk about him regularly, but ours is different.
He's going to tweet out, and he's like, just listen to this podcast. It was great. And it's just us.
You do a great impression of me.
And it's just us. And he's like, you got to listen at the 56-minute mark. It's the best part of it. It's the best part of it. So moving into our next little area, I'm gonna flashbang myself. Let's see if I can. I don't want to screw anything up here, but I need to pull up the sheet on my computer here.
I just looked back through. I have officially one of each because I think I found a news article.
Yep.
But I didn't write it down. I
That's
just
fine.
had it up,
Right.
and then it is now long gone.
Okay, that's okay. So, would you rather start off with the news article? So I have 4 situations / hypothetical questions, and I have a news story.
I feel like the hypothetical is a good ending.
Okay.
I think we go new because
So-
I think we do our personal news, then bigger news,
Yeah.
followed by chaos.
So what did you pick for your news story?
So, dude, you're not gonna believe this.
I really hope I didn't pick the same one. If you pick the same, this means I'm gonna be fucking angry.
It's pretty big news.
I'm gonna be really mad if you pick the same one.
You ready for this?
I am.
So, I heard that President Bill Clinton had relations with this woman named Monica Lewinsky, dude. She works for him. And he fucking diddled her, dude. How crazy is that?
Are you joking?
Nope. 100% true. Just
No.
heard about it now.
Can't be happening.
Yep. Actively.
No. Not Bill. Not Billy.
Yes, Billy Boy, dude. He's doing it right now.
But he didn't. He can't.
I
He's
know.
married
I know.
to Hillary Clinton, who will never do anything wrong in the world.
Exactly.
You got to be joshing me, man.
Unbelievable that he would cheat on a perfect angel like that. What the fuck, dude? World's a
My-
crazy place.
I can't. This story is not even gonna live up to it. But
No.
are you
Yeah.
looking to change careers? Because if so, New York City has posted a new job posting seeking a rat czar to tame the city's rodent problem. The administration of New York City's Mayor Eric Adams has listed a new job for a rat czar to tame the infamous rodent problem in the Big Apple. The posting was made Wednesday, is officially seeking a director of rodent migration who will work to advance the city's efforts to address policy matters in the 5 boroughs related to the curbing the increase of rats during the COVID pandemic. The listing I swear to God, literally states, "Do you have what it takes to do the impossible?" I don't know what that word is. I can't even read these words, man. I'm going to try, though. A virulent venomous for vermin. I don't know what the fuck that word is, man. I'll be honest. A background in urban planning, project management, or government, and most importantly, the drive, determination, and killer instinct needed to fight the real enemy, New York City's restless rat population.
Killer instinct, dude. That's what you need.
And then it says, if your dream job awaits, New York City's director of rodent migration. Can
There's
you take
something
a
else.
guess how much money, range-wise, this job's offering? Like, just like, I want you to really take an educated guess. Like, I don't want you to just throw out a number. Like, I really want you to think about it. Like, how much money do you think this job is going to be posted for?
How big can my range be?
As big as you want it to be. I mean, not like, you're not going to say $1 to like 6 million. That's bullshit. But like, within I guess like,
I'm thinking 55 to 65 a year.
120,000 to 770,000.
There's no, dude. Send me the link.
Dude, it says so. You report to the deputy mayor, right? And successful candidates are required to be the New York City residents. So you're already out of the mix. I'm sorry. You have to have a bachelor's degree, at least 5 years of relevant experience, and a swashbuckling attitude, crafty humor, and general aura of badassery. First of all, what the fuck is relevant experience? Like, what? Do they want like the Terminator of rats?
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, I go out fucking like Batman at night, like a vigilante, and murder rats. Hire me.
Dude, they want fucking Sylvester Stallone out there.
Like
fucking
5 years of
slaying
relevant
rats
experience.
by hand.
Like, I'm guessing they mean like exterminators. But
Probably exterminators or just like people
No!
that have had high tense situations or something.
like what?
Like,
Killing ants?
I don't know, dude.
Dude, I wiped out the local ant village. I think I'd be perfect for this job. Like,
I A general aura of badassery is a great thing to have in
also,
a job
what the
description.
hell is swashbuckling attitude? I've never heard that in my life.
You don't have a swashbuckling attitude?
No, I need to learn about swashbuckling attitudes and really get my game up because apparently I'm lacking in that department.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
I mean,
The hell,
I'm
dude?
actually kind of offended because I'm not even going to be considered for this job, and I'm a little upset because I think I'd be great at it.
I agree.
But see,
again,
here's the thing: I wouldn't kill the mice or the rats. I would just talk to them and build an army, and then unleash it on whatever species I feel like. Like I'd be the rat king, really.
I'd start a restaurant with one. I'd find
They
a
already have
special-
one. It's called Chuck E. Cheese. That fucking rat.
Oh yeah. No, I'd start a better one.
What is it? What's it gonna be called?
I don't know. I'd just fucking wear a hat and stick one of the talented rats up there. And
Dude, I want to
let
swing. Dude, I want to swing on that fucking stupid mouse from Ratatouille. I don't know. That little rat pisses me off. I don't know what it is about it. Every time I see that movie, I just want to swing on somebody. I don't know why.
Dude, you want to talk about a swashbuckling attitude and a general aura of badassery? Fucking, he's got it.
I'm talking about swinging on animated mice. I mean, if New York City... Okay, that's it. I'm tagging Eric Adams and Nick Saban in this podcast because they both need to listen.
Deal.
Maybe
Yeah.
they'll hang out. Maybe they hang out. I don't know. Nick
You think-
Saban... If anyone was going to hang out with government officials, it'd probably be Nick Saban. That guy's like 90. Not really, but
Yeah.
he's like old.
And he's also very like monotone. When I've heard him speak, you could convince me if I didn't know what he was talking about that he's a politician.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone was going to hang out with a politician, maybe Nick Saban's the person for this job.
I feel like he'd be good at it.
I mean, do you think he gives off crafty humor? Why would you need
Probably.
crafty humor to be a rat killer? Like, are you telling jokes before you kill the rats? What movie is that? Isn't there like a movie that does like they do that? They have like punchlines before they kill something. Like that's like what I'm thinking right now.
I think there's a lot of like older movies that do that, but they try to like the intention is for it to be cool.
Yeah, like they're killing bad guys, but
Yeah.
I mean, the rat problem must be that bad in New York City then. I mean, I'm not
It's really
familiar.
bad.
I'm not familiar with the rat problem, but apparently it must be bad enough.
No, it's really bad. And the problem is like there's just trash all over the streets, and there's not
It's
a
so
great
funny.
waste
So
management system.
they quoted a resident, and it sounds like she's talking like this place is under attack by like a terroristic group. It's like pre-pandemic. I enjoyed my neighborhood's charm, clean and quaint tree-lined streets, parks, and peacefully working in my garden. The sheds filling the streets have become nesting grounds for rats. Like, if you read that first sentence, you thinking that she's talking about like how this like terroristic group has invaded her neighborhood and they're like slaughtering people. It's
They
just
have.
rats, man. They're not
You're
killing
not taking
people like that.
You're not taking this seriously enough.
Rats aren't killing people like that, right?
You're
I
not.
mean, they carry like the plague or something.
You
I
just
don't
don't-
know.
You just don't understand.
Maybe
You're
I'm just
not one of us.
I'm just
You're not one of us New Yorkers.
I'm just
We get it.
I am New York.
Us swashbuckling badass New Yorkers.
I'm
are
just
fucking-
ignorant. That's my problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant to this fact, and I will. You know what? In the week that we have to record our next one, I will take my time, and I will research it, and I will come back next week, and I will talk about how I've learned and how wrong
Yeah.
I was, because I
Well-
apologize, New York. I apologize.
The first step is recognizing you fucked up. So
You know I have.
You're on your way.
That's my strange story. I mean, I can't. I still think yours is even stranger because I don't think there's any way that Bill Clinton would ever do something that heinous. And the fact that you're talking about his name like that is disgusting to me, sir.
I mean, I'm just stating facts, dude. It's crazy. The world's a crazy place.
Next, you're gonna tell me Nixon got in trouble for something back in the day. I don't think he did. That's it.
No, he's clean. Now, Richie? No, Richie's good.
Dick. I always think of I got
Nixon.
I got bullied once. Not really bullied, but like made fun of because I was trying to do Richard Nixon, and I got him confused with George W. Bush's VP, Dick Cheney. So I was doing what I thought was Richard Nixon. I was like, it's me, Richard Nixon. And they're like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, it's Richard Nixon. They're like, no, it's not. And I was like, yeah, it is, dude. So I pulled up a video, and I didn't know. And I'm like, that doesn't sound anything like Richard Nixon. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I went to go see a movie. They did a movie on Dick Cheney's life. I remember what it was called. It might have been called Cheney. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's where the voice came from. That was Dick Cheney. So after he had, like, I don't know if he had a stroke or something like that, but he had something that happened to him, and he was just like, his mouth wouldn't open on one side, so I'm like, hi, it's me, Dick Cheney. But I thought it was Richard Nixon, so I was like, hi, it's me, Richard Nixon. I'm here to address the people. And they're like, that's not Richard Nixon. And I was like, yes, it is. I know what I'm talking about.
When you were initially talking about it, I thought you were saying I confused him with George W. Bush. And
No.
I was going to lose my shit.
Dude, I took so I try to test my knowledge on things every once in a while, and I took a quiz on, like, naming the U.S. presidents. I got 6 of them. I know more than 6 of them. I got 6.
Like, what was the quiz? Just naming presidents?
It was just naming them. Like, obviously, I got, like, the last 4, and I forgot Bill Clinton. I don't know how. And I just gave up. To be fair, it was like 20-minute test. Like, it's like a 15-minute time limit, and I don't think I only was there for like a minute and a half. But I was like, I can't. Like, my brain was scrambled. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay, right now you have 5 seconds between us. We're gonna go back and forth naming presidents.
Okay.
And then last one to not be.
All right,
first one to not be able to name
I'll
one,
start
lose it.
because that seems easier.
Okay.
All right, Joe Biden,
Trump,
Bill Clinton,
Obama,
George Washington,
George Bush,
George H.W. Bush,
Nixon.
Carter.
Or you said Nixon.
No,
Did you say Nixon?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you said Clinton.
Yeah. I say Jimmy Carter.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt. Was he a president? Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No. Was he?
Yes. Both
Okay.
were.
Okay.
Lincoln.
Yes. I don't have a clue. Madison, right? Madison was one of them? No.
Yep.
Okay.
Ulysses S. Grant.
The big fat guy. What's his name? Hoover. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Didn't he die in a tub?
No, that's Taft, who's my next one.
Oh, shit. Fucking... I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I can't even think
I feel like we did.
Oh,
like
Kennedy. Kennedy. Duh.
Oh, you fuck. This is harder when you're on the spot.
It is. See, that's what I'm saying, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
you were thinking. I could see on your face. You're like, this dumbass only got 6. I can do better than that. Which we did. I mean, I think you gave 6, but
For sure. Who became? I'm trying to think of who became the president.
I'm gonna expose myself here. When I couldn't think of Kennedy, I almost said Thomas Edison. I was like this close, and I was like, "That's fucking stupid. That is just dumb. Like, there's no coming back from that."
That's awesome. All right, I feel like we got to get into the hypotheticals here.
Okay, so my first hypothetical question is to you, local hero Seth Cook.
Yes.
You have a big red button.
Yep.
That when you press it, it does something. What does yours do?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So it's got to be like specific.
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be specific. It can be as specific or as not specific as you want it to be. This is the purpose of this. It's your answer.
Then I guess my answer would be it does whatever I think about.
No, you have to give me something.
That's what I mean. Is like if
you have to give me something. You can't be like, it's not like the genie thing where it's like, oh, if I had a genie, I wish for 3 more wishes. Now you have to give me like a specific thing, but like it doesn't have to be like, oh, when I press, I get X amount of money. Like, and you can get specific if you want it to, but it doesn't have to.
You know what a good one would be?
What?
Is when I press it, whoever I'm looking at falls down.
It just eats it?
Yeah.
Like
Because
how hard though? Like are we talking like just like a banana peel slip type of cartoon
yeah,
fall?
exactly.
I
But
was
then
thinking
I could play football and then keep it like
true.
somewhere near me, and then I could be like running and be like, bow, and then hit the button, and then Buddy's just on the ground.
But
And
are
I'm
you
fucking-
running like with the button in your fucking hand? Like
Yeah, I could have it in my fucking pants and then just be like, boom, and then hit the button, and then just everyone's falling behind me.
it's the darndest thing, Joe Buck. Whenever Seth Cook hits his fucking leg, everyone just falls down.
That'd be the craziest fucking thing to watch, but the best. Or I could just like, the real way to make that beneficial would be to bet on sports, and then
True.
in key moments be watching it, and then hit the button, make somebody fall down, and just control the outcome of the game.
But at that point, why wouldn't you just like click the button for money? Because that's if like you're sports betting, like that'd be easier than just doing that. Because then you're leaving, I guess, part of it for chance. Because like you might not get it.
Yeah, but do you want it to be easy? Like that sounds really
No.
boring.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, no, and then I can just use it in life of like someone's being annoying and be like, "Fuck you, you're on the ground."
I was thinking more of like instead of like banana peel falling, it's like a wave of gravity, like a hand just comes down and like pushes them like a sandwich down on the ground, like just like, and they're like ah, like
Nice.
it just like they're like close to being like critically injured, but they're all right.
I still like that line of thinking, close
Yeah.
to injured but fine.
Like
But,
they
no, I
are
was
they are
thinking
one
dramatic slip and fall.
they're like 1 inch away from being like in the ICU, but like they're not going to be because we're not sinister yet.
Yeah, yeah, we're normal people.
I think if I had to pick what mine would be, was I would want like, I want to hit the button, and Goofy, the character from Disney, like I'd want him to just like fall out of the ceiling, like not like, but he can't like he doesn't exist in this universe, but except when I hit the button, he crashes through the ceiling. Like if I were to hit it and he came out from right here, like he would leave destruction behind him.
Love
But
it.
he would do whatever I say to do. So if I'm like, dude, I want you to go out and fucking just like smoke this guy on the street. He's like, okay, gorsh, and he fucking goes out and like clocks him. Like that's what I think, because can you imagine like if I'm getting like people are like talking shit to me and I'm like, you better shut your mouth. And they're like, or else what? And I'm like, all right. And I click the button and fucking Goofy crashes through the fucking ceiling. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, Goofy, attack. And he starts fucking swinging. I mean, Goofy's like 8 foot tall, I'm pretty sure.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure Goofy's like 8 foot. Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure Goofy was like 8'2". I saw a post somewhere here. I'm having trouble
There's
finding
no-
it, but that's the thing though. I'm like, also
How tall does that make
Yeah.
everyone else in the group?
Goofy. It says, I don't know if this is accurate or not because this is just a tweet, but this is like a tweet of a screenshot of something that says Goofy was 8'2".
I mean, because then he's right there with everybody else. That means fucking Mickey's got to be 6 foot something, right?
Isn't Goofy like much taller than the other characters on the show though? Is he not? I'm not
I don't
well
know.
versed in the Mickey Mouse lore.
I'm not either.
I gotta
I'm
get
trying to
better
think.
at it.
You know what it might be is the fucking
Mickey Mouse is
costumes
a
at Disney
punk ass.
are true to size.
I don't think Goofy's 8'2" at Disney, is he? That would be terrifying
should
for
be.
kids, dude. If I went there as a kid, I would have just run.
Like a nice little Yao Ming Goofy coming.
No,
at
that's what I'm
you.
saying. So if I wanted Goofy to go smoke some guy, I could have him smoke somebody. But if I'm like, Goofy, I want you to go play in the NBA for 6 seasons and win a bunch of money, he's like, oh, you got it, boss. Like it'd be that simple. I could get a bunch of
is-
money from him. He could be my personal hitman because he can't die. That's another important thing. Is he's immortal.
Yeah.
So once he completes the task where I tell him to, he just floats back to where he came from, but leaves the destruction behind. So like I'm going to ruin every single place that I'm in. Like
That's awesome.
that is a key aspect of this thing, is that he destroys things when he comes through.
Yeah, but then you could be like, Goofy, fix that.
No,
No,
I don't want him
happens.
to fix it because I want them to be like, "What the fuck happened there?" Like, you're never gonna believe it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna believe it. Goofy just busted through the ceiling right there. They're like, "Yeah, what really
They're
happened?"
rude.
And they're like, "No,
So-
that's what happened."
In this hypothetical, is Goofy animated or is Goofy
Yes,
like?
no, he is ripped straight out from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
That's awesome.
Like, he does not fit in this universe whatsoever. Like, have
Amazing.
you seen the Goofy movies before?
I think so.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
It would be like that, where he just like pops up and they're like, "What?" And then it's just him, and he does whatever I want him to. If I want him to go, and it's like, if I wanted to get evil, right? I could be like, Goofy, go commit a murder, but keep the murder weapon with you, because then like it would be gone, it'd be vanished. He's like, "Oh, yeah, sure," and like walks up to somebody, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about it," and pulls him, and he just disappears.
That's
murder
awesome.
weapon behind with him too.
Yep.
I don't advocate for murder. That's not what I'm saying. But like,
no, it's all hypothetical.
If I wanted to, then Goofy would be my hitman. He can. The possibilities are endless. I can make him a chef. I'm like, Goofy, go to culinary school and learn how to cook.
Yeah.
He would.
There's a lot of potential.
That is my answer. So to be fair, I did think about this beforehand, like just a little bit, because I came up with these questions. So I'm like, what would I want to do? And that was not what I originally came up with. But I'm sticking with it because it is just the best.
What did you originally come up with?
I didn't fully flesh it out because I didn't want to cheat. But my original thought process was when I hit a button, it just spawned a like comically large amount of something. Like, and I didn't get to the point of what it would be.
Gotcha.
Like, but it would have to be something stupid. Like, I have one of these rubber chickens that make noise, right? Yeah. And I think I'd love to spawn a bunch of these, like in a tight area that would just automatically all go off and make like that noise at once.
Like fill a room.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty funny.
I think a key would be when it spawns them, they have to be compressed.
Oh yeah, when they're fully compressed. Like when you let go of them, they're gonna screech. Like,
yeah,
that's what has to happen.
Yeah, because if you just spawn a bunch of them and they're not making noise because they're not compressed,
it's not that much fun. No, 100%. I agree with you. But that was my original thought. But the Goofy idea was much better.
100%.
Are you sticking with yours?
I think so.
I like it. It's a unique take on this. I did ask some people this question because I wanted to get some input, and one of my friends said that she would have it clean her house, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, no disrespect, Jocelyn, if you're listening. No disrespect. I'm sorry. I already gave you that when you told me your answer.
Yeah.
But like, come on.
But I'm just thinking too. Both of ours, you could get that done. You could have Goofy. You could have Goofy clean your house.
Yeah, that's in the rationale point.
And I could torture someone to the point of them wanting to clean my house. Like I could be like, "You're not gonna stop falling."
They get up and they just fucking kick you.
Yeah,
please stop this.
Clean my house right fucking now. Just relentless.
It's a guy like you order Domino's and it's the pizza guy. Like you picked the wrong fucking house, bud.
The cops come and they're trying to explain what's happening. And I'm like, she just keeps falling.
Dude, I think she's having a medical emergency.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna believe you? And then in this universe, we both have the buttons. I'll just send Goofy to fucking clean up your business. I'm like, all right, Goofy, go in there and help Seth out.
I like it. Yeah.
So my next question is kind of going viral, so it's a little bit of a cop-out.
I'll sneak mine in and then go back to yours because I just have the one.
Okay. I was thinking about doing yours in the middle because I had more, but if you want to do yours,
oh, you have 4?
Fine. Yeah.
Did you say? Okay, yeah. So you do another one and then I'll do mine and then you got 2 more.
Okay. So this one's kind of going viral. I've seen it all over the internet, and my coworker asked me this question and then posted it on Facebook. So it's kind of a cop out because I didn't originally think of this. But what's the largest animal you think you could win a fight against with just your bare hands? And you got to explain why. So I'm selling myself short. If you want my answer first, like I think I said a doe, like a doe without antlers. I think I'd mollywop real quick.
I don't know about that.
I think
the problem with this question is what is winning a fight? Because if winning a fight is like you're locked in a room and the first one to die loses.
That's what my rationale goes to.
So it's like you are forced in a space for combat. Because I feel like if you're in a space with a doe, that thing's fucking hauling.
But I kind of want to change it because now that I'm thinking about it, I think we should make it like a UFC fight where it's like an octagon cage, but there's a ceiling, so you can't escape. And you're just like Joe Rogan's like commentating. He's like, it's fight night, and it's just like the bell rings, and then it's the first one that just either gives up or gets knocked out. I still think in this case I'm knocking that dough right out. I'm laying that fucking thing out.
I don't think so.
I
are fucking fast as shit.
But if I
get picked at some point, and you're not gonna.
But if I can break just one of its legs, its entire offense is screwed.
That's true, but
then you just ground and pound.
Slow it down close enough to break its leg.
I'm saying just dive at the legs. That's my rationale. Just dive at the legs and just snap it like a chicken wing. You probably can. Yeah, I don't know if I'm that strong, but
I don't think it's a problem of strength. I think if you got on its back somehow or something, like I think you're right, you could do something. I think the problem is they're so much faster than you.
But we're in a cage.
But even in an octagon, if that thing's fucking darting sideways, you're not catching that thing.
I'm gonna try my ass off though.
I'd love to watch it.
You know what?
So in an octagon,
mm-hmm.
I'm taking a fucking dolphin.
A dolphin?
Oh yeah, that
you
thing.
You think you're beating a dolphin?
In an octagon? Yes. What the fuck is a dolphin gonna do in an octagon?
It's gonna fucking flail itself at you.
Yeah, and it's not doing shit.
Don't dolphins have sharp teeth? They just don't bite because they're not mean?
I think so, but...
Something like if it bites you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but how it has no ability to move around. It's on the floor of an octagon.
True.
All I need to do is lay down on top of that thing, fucking... Realistically, just wait for it to not be able to breathe anymore, and then I'm fucking in the clear, and I won the fight.
I guess.
The dolphins are massive.
I still think I could take a dough.
It's kind of a cheap answer because picking a fucking water creature to fight in an octagon isn't really fair. But
that's part of the question though. Is what's I'm not. No disrespect. I think if you had to pick, if off the top of your head, without getting too much into thought, like a creature that lives on the ground, what are you picking? If you have one that you can just like quickly think of,
I could fuck up a sloth.
Yeah, I hit a sloth. I think so.
I think
my first thought was a medium-sized dog, not like a Great Dane, but like a not like a pit bull because fuck that. But like
there's breeds I bet you could get like a nice
like a golden golden doodles are fucking stupid.
Yeah, or a hefty poodle or something.
Yeah, I just kicked that thing in the face. Like I don't want to kick a dog, but if I had to. But like, I'm gonna go with the doe because I think a doe. I was selling myself short. I meant to say I was selling myself high. That I was gonna be the doe. I still think I don't know, man. If it's like a 50-50 bet, I think.
I'm thinking you're underestimating the speed.
I might be, but I think the doe's underestimating me.
I agree. I think I'm underestimating you.
I'm gonna go put the does on the map and just walk out in the forest and just start fucking throwing elbows at these does. Like,
but depending on how the question's framed, like, there's a decent amount of animals that would just choose not to fight you.
Yeah.
So if it's like you're in the wild, there's plenty of big animals that if you just fucking intimidated it, it's running away. And then if that's considered winning the fight, then you win.
I think that's kind of part of the question too. Is like we get to kind of create our own scenario.
Yeah. Because it's winning the fight isn't clear enough to really be able to answer the question.
I don't want to think it's to the death. I want to think like it's like I think of it as like in an octagon UFC fight or a boxing ring of like this thing can't continue. So if I break the doe's legs, it can't continue really because it can't get up. It's like Rocky. Like you gotta be the 10 count.
Yeah.
Or maybe spitting blood out in slow motion and all the music and stuff just to get whopped by a doe. I don't care. Maybe I'll win.
Yeah. I think you'd win.
I think
changed my mind.
I think it'd be close.
I think now that I'm really thinking about it, in an octagon, that thing's not choosing to fight you. So I think if you fucking...
But would it if I start charging it? Wouldn't it defend itself? Like it's not gonna just run away, is it? I don't know. I'm not big in. I don't hunt, so I don't actually know.
Oh yeah, I'm coming from a place of zero knowledge.
Oh, you don't know either.
No, I'm just assuming everything. But I mean, they're definitely fast. Like I'm not making that.
But they are kind of benign. I feel like they don't really attack people.
No, given the chance, 100% it's running away unless it has no choice. But in an octagon, it has no choice. So Yeah, you're probably getting kicked, but I think if you
I
find a
can
way to not
stomach
get
the
kicked,
kick. I can stomach the kick. It depends
probably.
on where I'm getting. If I'm getting kicked in the head, I'm out like a fucking light, dude. I am not gonna know what's. I'm gonna wake up in the ICU and be like, "What happened?"
Dude, have you seen the video of the horse kicking another horse in the head?
Yes, dude. I don't know if I've seen the
And
one
then
you're
it
talking
just
about, but I've seen videos.
and it just goes to the ground and like is just shaking, and then
Yeah.
that's it for the horse. That's insane.
So I was reading.
Horses are
Dude,
terrifying.
I read this. It was this book about the life and death of this wrestling company. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was called WCW. It was like back in the
Yep.
80s and 90s. Yeah. So there in this book, it was talking about this. They had this fucking crazy match. It was just to show how crazy the show had gotten. They had this barn stable match between this hardcore wrestler and like this other wrestler with real live fucking animals, and one of them being a fucking horse, and the horse fucking kicks the guy like because it was behind him, and it like kicks the guy right in the ribs, and he just goes, "You fucking horse, I'll kick your fucking ass." Like there's a clip of it.
He was fine.
Yeah, he walked it off, finished the match. Imagine getting kicked by a horse and the first thing that you say is, "You fucking horse, I'll kick your fucking ass."
There's no fucking way you got kicked by a fucking horse.
Yeah, I'll send you the
And
clip
just-
after this. It is so
shit.
funny.
Oh my god. That's fucking wild.
Every time I think of a horse kicking somebody, I think of that. Every single time.
Reasonably so.
It is
I'm
like
probably going to do well.
the funniest thing I've ever seen. You fucking horse.
All right. My question is a
Okay.
cinema question.
Cinema question.
Yes.
From the UK now, darling.
So they make a third remake of Ocean's 11,
Okay.
but the entire team is played by one actor. Who do you want playing each role?
Oh my god.
Because it's just going to be one person in a bunch of different outfits doing a heist.
Oh my god. I don't. Have you thought about this?
Yes, I know who my answer
Okay,
is.
what's your answer? Well, I think
Jack Black, 100%.
Jack Black was honestly one of the first people that kind of bounced into my brain.
I feel like he's got the range and the willingness to do a ton of voices that he would be good at it.
I think I would want to just put Steve Carell, but he exclusively can't change who he is, and he just has to play Michael Scott. Like it has to be Michael Scott portraying these different heist characters. Like it has to just be like that.
You know what would be a good one is him doing like the different versions of Michael Scott through the show.
Yeah.
Like Prison Mike, like
all the
Bat
alter
Suit
egos,
Mike,
absolutely.
like yeah, and then they're all doing a heist together.
I think it would have to be like a character like that, or like an actor like that. That's just so ridiculous, because like that would be the best part. It would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I like that.
Jack Black's a
both
great
went-
answer though.
I like that we both went comedy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's kind of one of those movies. It's partly a comedy, but it's also partly like serious heist movie. So you could go like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's really doing each character.
I actually
like,
think
truly. And it
if I
becomes
had to pick a non-actor, I'm picking Dick Cheney.
dude, can you, dude, Dick Cheney impersonating Richard Nixon.
We gotta go to the heist. I think I would. I think I want to pay for Dick Cheney's. Is he still alive? He's still alive, right?
I have no idea.
I think he's still alive. I would have known if he's dead. I have my Dick Cheney radar going off.
You know what would be a good one? So this completely is outside of my question.
He's still
Like it wouldn't
alive.
work anymore. He is.
Thank.
This doesn't apply to my this doesn't apply to my question anymore because it's different people. But a good one would be a heist movie where they're Point Break style in president's masks.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But then at the end, it's the presidents wearing their own masks, and they just did a heist.
Obama's like, fooled the Americans again.
Exactly, dude.
my
That'd be a great
fellow
movie.
Americans, fuck you.
Like they're fucking heisting, and the people around them are like, I know we're getting robbed, but like they all do really good impressions of these guys.
Like, was that just me, or did that guy sound just like Bill Clinton? If that guy doesn't work out in terms of, if he gets caught, he's going to make a really good prison guy because he's going to be loved by everybody because he's going to be doing his Bill Clinton impression.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody loves Bill Clinton.
Dude, Bill Clinton looks like he's dead. Have you seen a picture of him recently?
No, not lately.
God, he looks like he's just dead, but like they're keeping him alive just to like torture him. Like he is like a walking skeleton. It's terrifying.
I got to pull up a picture.
Yeah, he looks awful. There was like a picture of him at it was a funeral of one of the presidents that died. I think it was George W.
Oh my
Bush.
god.
Yeah, he looks awful.
Jeez.
I mean, if you really look at it though, every president that really ever was in office looks like they've aged 90 years after they get out of office. Like Obama, like looked like he was his age when he was in office. Then when he got out, he looked like he was half dead.
Bill Clinton now looks like if they remade Home Alone, he'd be the guy shoveling outside. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
He'd be that guy. That's what he looks like.
He does.
Kids fucking terrified of him because he looks like a dead person.
He looks like, oh my god. I don't even know what to say. He looks like. I want to say he just looks gross. Like, he just looks awful.
He looks like at some point long time ago he passed that threshold where he now has like that old person smell. Like you could close your eyes and shake his hand and be like,
he looks like the kind of like guy though that at the family dinner, like, would be talking about like different people of other races and be referring to them as the others. Like, does he?
Yeah, dude.
He looks like the guy that's like getting the mashed potatoes out of the Thanksgiving dish, and he's like, "I saw one of them blacks at the store today," and it's like, Grandpa, like that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He just looks like he lives and breathes racism.
Yeah, he'd be the one at Thanksgiving where, like, you bring your significant other for the first time and you're like, all right, I just have to warn you.
I have this granddad. He's kind of racist, and then he just walks in just yelling the N-word, and it's like, I bet Bill Clinton says the N-word.
He definitely did at one point if he doesn't now.
Oh, he does now, 100%. You can't convince me
so?
otherwise. I bet he goes home, like, after a long day, whatever he's doing nowadays, and he goes to Hillary, he's just, like, starts yelling it. Like, for no purpose. Just to get it off his chest.
Just to unwind.
He's like, Hillary, I've been holding this in all day.
My God.
Like, most people go home to release, like, farts, and he's just releasing just racial slurs.
Yeah, that does. When you look at the picture of him, like, that makes perfect sense.
It really does.
It sounds like it wouldn't, but it does.
The one picture I'm actually looking at, he's yelling into a microphone, and it looks like he could be saying it. I wish I could put the picture on the screen because, like, it really does.
You can share your screen.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
How do I do that? Oh, I can't.
I should share mine so you can see my.
Do you see this picture? Hold on, let me blow it up. This one right here.
Are you sharing your screen?
I think so. Oh, I haven't shared it. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I didn't even share it yet. Right here.
Oh, now I can see it.
This picture of him. He is totally just yelling racial slurs into that microphone.
100%. I can see it.
I mean, there's no way he's not. Absolutely.
Why does he always look like he's holding something that isn't there when he's talking? All his talking pictures, he's like this.
You got a point. What the fuck is he? Is he gripping onto the hopes and dreams of young children that he's just abducting?
Probably.
He looks like a child predator. I am really laying into Bill Clinton here, and I don't have anything against the guy, but like he just looks like the worst of the human race.
Well, there's that whole like he was on the list of the people that went to that.
I thought
Epstein's
he was.
Island.
I mean, he looks like if there was ever a face that I would attribute, it'd be his. Like, can anybody genuinely look at his face and be like, he wasn't like having sex with kids? Like, come on, guys, what are we doing?
He's that guy.
He is the face of that operation.
Yeah.
All right,
Sit.
back now that we've done shitting on Bill Clinton. Actually, it's a perfect segue into the next question I have for you, which was if you didn't have to be you, like you had to be somebody else, who would you be? I would not be Bill Clinton, that's for sure.
No?
I mean, maybe.
I'd probably want to be someone that has a very, like, strong public image.
Yeah.
Like, everyone really loves them, so probably maybe like a Richard Nixon.
Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Kanye
exactly.
West.
Dude, another one? Great, he makes some good points.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anybody ever think maybe he's speaking facts? No, we have to say right now we do not condone whatever Kanye is saying. I am very against what Kanye has said. We're just making jokes. I promise.
I've heard some of the stuff.
It's awful.
And
it's
when
awful.
I try to think back on it, it feels like a weird dream I had.
It's
like,
awful.
I had a dream where he was saying this stuff.
Have you?
It's
this is so
crazy.
off topic. Have you ever jump scared yourself awake before?
Oh yeah,
dude.
The where you have you ever done the you're falling asleep?
Yeah.
And then you literally feel like you're falling.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then sit up.
So I have a good one. So 3 months ago, I had just woken up. I had my arm like this, and my arm was asleep, and my finger was my arm had been asleep for hours, so my fingers were all numb. My finger,
I hate when it happens.
I couldn't feel my entire arm, so I felt somebody's arm on my back, fingers on my back, and I jumped out of bed, because Steven wasn't even home. It was just me, and my door's locked, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought someone was touching me. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was dude, I'm not even kidding you. I did this where I was for 35 seconds of what the fuck was that? And it was me. It was my own hand. I was caressing myself. And I thought I was getting kidnapped.
Holy fuck, dude.
I remember I went to work that night. I'm like, has anybody else ever done this? No. No. And I was like, yeah, me either. I don't know who.
I'd love to do that. That's hilarious.
It scared the fuck out of me because I genuinely could not feel any sensation in my fingers.
Is that one of those where you get up and then your arms dangling and you you can literally swing your arm around?
I was I thought I was dead. I'm I can't move my entire arm. I was doing this whole thing and I was just flailing down and I was like, am I okay?
Yeah.
Am I all right?
Yeah. Dude, I've had that happen a couple times where I'll wake up on my arm weird and the whole thing's asleep and you literally can pick it up.
What I really should have done was, done the old, they always say it feels like somebody else is doing it. That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
I missed a golden opportunity.
Did you have the sensation to grip?
I know. Dude, it was if I would have let my arm fall on a hard surface, I would have probably broken 6 bones in my hand. It was falling.
Maybe it would have felt like someone else was doing it, but it would have been a really bad job.
Well, I probably could have. I could have shaped my hand enough probably to keep it to at least somewhat of shape.
You don't think it would just loosen back up?
It probably would have. I was too terrified. I mean, I was sitting up on the edge of my bed, literally right there. I can't point right there, and I was just I had to I kept looking behind me there was some figurative person. I'm oh, well, you can't see me, you can't see me. It was just me, but I was terrified.
It sounds terrifying.
I was really scared. But
all right, you got one more?
Speaking of monsters that might have in my dreams, you can be any mythological monster. Which one are you choosing? And I think there's an obvious answer for this question. So I say mythological, but I also mean fictional, any fictional monster that's been written about, shown in a movie, TV show, whatever it might be.
Here's my question. Okay. Am I going to be that, but I get my consciousness?
Yes.
Or am I just going to be that?
No, you wake up tomorrow and you are whatever you choose to be.
1,000,000%, I want to be Bigfoot and just fucking ruin people's lives.
I think the easiest answer is Godzilla.
Well, in terms of what?
Because Godzilla, man, Godzilla is this skyscraper fucking lizard that shoots fire out of his eyes or fire out of his mouth and flames and lasers out of his eyes. He went off against King Kong and he whooped King Kong's ass. And, like, nothing's stopping Godzilla. Bro, you know how much shit you can destroy as Godzilla? But I wouldn't want to do anything. I want to be like someone's pet. Like, I want to, like, some kid be like, Mom, I have a new pet. And she's like, oh, what is it? And it's just me.
Well, you could do that as other ones. The problem with Godzilla is if you're not looking for world domination, then you are just massive and there's no, like... You're just out in the open fucking all the time.
Yeah, but I'd be someone's pet. Like, I would just go from house to house and be like...
Yeah, but how? You can't. He's bigger than
I'd find a
fucking
way.
Neighborhoods.
I'd find a way.
Like that, because I'm thinking Bigfoot. Like, you're big, but you're not so big.
Yeah, you're not comically big. We're the point where you can't hide. But also, Godzilla can swim. Like, he's, like, amphibious. Is that what they call it? Yeah. Yeah, so he can, like, swim, so I just, like, go to beaches and, like, oh, it's a shark, and it's just fucking Godzilla. And I'm like, I'm not here to kill anybody except for that guy, and just kill him. Prove your point. Because you have to prove your point that, like, you can do that, and you will, at will, but you also want people to fear you. You want them to love you, but you want them to fear you at the same time, because you don't want to be a pushover.
The second you kill somebody, there's no one loving you. There'll be some people loving you.
Well, you can always have a redemption story.
You can, but they're not gonna give fucking Godzilla one.
They might. They give Godzilla that in the movies. Why couldn't they do it to me? I'm a lovable guy.
I changed my mind. You won me over.
I think
Just
Bigfoot's
like
a good answer. My
Godzilla.
secondary answer is the Kraken, I think, because...
That'd be cool.
I mean, you could fuck so many people's days up if you're the Kraken. Like, there's a shipment coming over from, like, Russia. I'm like, you know what? Not anymore.
You know what would also be fun is... being that dude from Narnia that's got the fucking, like, goat legs.
I've not seen Narnia, but I know what you're talking about.
And then just, again, like, a lot of my hypotheticals is how could I be good at sports?
I think I would love to be, if, like, monsters, I'd like to be Mike Wazowski. It'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
He's a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fictional
Technically, he's a monster.
Yeah. But if I'm the dude with fucking goat legs and I'm just fucking hauling ass all the time...
You are going to be the star running back when Nick Saban lets you go to Alabama.
Exactly. After he hears this and he's like, these guys.
He's this fucking kid's got what I'm looking for.
Yeah, goat legs.
He's like, Seth, it's now I can't separate the voices. Now I'm Dick Cheney again.
It's Nick Saban.
I don't know what Nick Saban sounds like. To me, he sounds like fucking Dick Cheney. Seth.
Hey, I'm Nick Saban.
Hey, Seth, it's Nick Saban calling again. That probably doesn't even sound like Dick Cheney, to tell you the truth.
I don't know well enough. So
I'm not good with impressions, but
the best part, for me, is I don't know that I've ever heard Dick Cheney talk. So now, anytime I hear about Dick Cheney, like, that's the voice I have for Dick Cheney.
That's like, so I had a kid I work with. We were talking about Eeyore, right? And one day we were talking about Eeyore. He goes, well, sitting here waiting to die. And I was like, what? He's like, Eeyore says that. And I was like, Eeyore does not. He's like, yeah, he does. He fucking convinced me that Eeyore says that. I go on about my fucking days, right? And I just start saying this all the time. Like, well, just sitting here waiting to die. And my mom was like, what the fuck are you saying? And I was like, Ma, Eeyore says this. She's like, no, he definitely doesn't. So I'm like, Mom, yes, he does. And she's like, no, Jacob, he does not. So I, like, Googled it. Eeyore has never said anything like that in his life.
No.
I was convinced, dude. I was thoroughly convinced.
Says it in what? Like a movie?
I don't know. I mean, some of the quotes he says are, like, one of his quotes that is a legitimate quote. He was like, well, can get worse. Don't know how, but it can. That's almost just as bad as waiting here to die, in my mind.
Absolutely not.
It's close.
Absolutely not. No way.
He's like hopeless, man. He's like, okay.
He's hopeless, but he's not fucking death wish hopeless.
Well, he's not wishing for his death. He's waiting to die. He's not like, oh, I'm sitting here committing suicide. He's like, oh, I'm sitting here just passing by my time till I die. Now I sound like Kermit the fucking Frog. Oh,
dude, I was gonna say
I'm
that.
I'm just fucking sitting here waiting to die.
I'd watch that movie.
I'd do Kermit the Frog as Eeyore.
All right.
I got Nick Saban as Dick Cheney.
I changed my mind. Okay. Ocean's 11 with all Kermit the Frog.
All Kermit the Frogs. We gotta run. We got 5-0 on our ass. We gotta go. There's gunshots. He's like, take this, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm actually. I think I'm stealing that one, and I'm going with you on that. I want to see this happen really bad.
Yeah, that's the answer for sure to that question.
I think that's a perfect end to this episode.
I agree.
Leaving everybody that's listened this far with the vision of Kermit the Frog stealing large amounts of money and shooting people.
Yeah.
12
and
times
props
over.
to you if you listen this far, because good lord.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have, you've definitely had a lot of information and a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, and it's all very factual.
Yeah.
So any factual information you've heard on here, feel free to carry on with your life assuming it's 100% true.
And if you have any requests on questions, if you want us to submit questions, or if you ever want us to talk about something, just find us somewhere. I think we're gonna create social media pages. I don't know when we're gonna do that, but that's at least a goal here at some point in time. Is we'll create social media pages for our podcast. But for right now, if you're listening, you know one of us or both of us. So just fucking message one of us, because you know what's.
Or you have way too much time on your hands. You somehow found this.
Yeah, you just somehow found this, and you're like, who the fuck are these guys? Who are these guys? But if you have listened,
If you randomly found this and listened to the whole thing, what are you doing?
If you're watching this and you're somebody that randomly found this and have no connection to either of us and have listened to this point, for the love of God, seek help. Find God, go to therapy. I don't know what you have to do, but find something else to do than listen to these two baboons babble for fucking almost 2 hours. But thank you so much for the support.
Oh yeah, thanks for the support, but go get help.
No, but we'll make social media pages. We do have a YouTube channel, so if you're watching this on YouTube, to definitely subscribe. That's what they say, I think, at the end of everything. Oh, subscribe and like and subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah.
But
it helps the algorithm.
Yeah, we'll definitely make hopefully make a TikTok page to upload some of these clips, because we definitely have some clippable conversations that would hopefully get us some traction on TikTok. That's where it all starts nowadays, man, is fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
But
yeah, hopefully I'll have a mic next week. We got some ground we can cover to make
listen,
it
man, this is all just getting kind of how we're gonna do things, and I appreciate people who are listening, even if you listen for 10 minutes and you skip to the end to hear how we fucking ended this nonsense. That's perfect. I mean, I appreciate it, but you know, it's a work in progress. We'll eventually figure it out, and we'll get there. So
I agree.
Well, Seth, thanks for letting me talk your ear off for 2 hours and having some fun ass conversations. So
well, yeah, dude, thank you for your great Richard Nixon impression. I appreciate
Dick
it.
Cheney. They had it right next time. This is Dick Cheney. So I don't know.